Hi everyone, Renee Blasky from the Leap Network, and welcome back to the weekly Leap videos. If you've watched the last video that I loaded into the website and onto YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn, you will have seen that I talked about how entrepreneurs can often not get a strong sense that they're the CEO of their business. And sometimes they even don't look at their practice, if they're a coach or a doctor or a lawyer or even something else, they don't look at it as if they're running a business or a company. And when you get into that mindset, you're starting to look and sound more like a hobbyist rather than an entrepreneur. And that's what I want to help you with. If you're in that situation where you find yourself not wearing that CEO hat and you feel like your business or even your idea or even something in your own personal life is not working out the way you want it to, perhaps it's because you're not taking control. Or perhaps it's because you haven't actually put a plan into place. Maybe even both. Does that sound familiar? Now, the reason I'm bringing this subject matter up now is that we are now in October. And 2020 is going to be with us pretty quickly. I think you'll be surprised at how quickly the last 3 months go by. So I want to set you up such that you're ready come January 1, that you have in place a system or a structure that can help you reach your goals. Now, some of you may have already been going, whoa, 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 that sounds horrible. Structure, systems. That's why I went into business by myself, because I didn't want all that. I wanted to leave that behind with my corporation that I left, or I just don't like the sound of that because I want to feel freedom and have liberation, and I don't want to get stuck in that whole process. It sounds like a four-letter word of work. But I can tell you that if you really want to succeed in carrying out your plans, carrying out and building your business, developing a new plan for your life, transitioning and making that huge transformation that you may be working on, I can tell you that you need a plan. But I want to make it fun, because if you don't make it fun, oftentimes you'll make it, but you'll never implement it. And if you start implementing it, you don't carry it through. And as we all know, it's consistent action that actually gets us to where we want to go. Even if we start off on the wrong path, we don't know that we're on the wrong path until we've started taking a few steps. If we stay in the same spot, we've never taken those few steps in the wrong direction, so we don't even know we're going in the wrong direction. So I can tell you, it's better to take a few steps in the wrong direction and find out than to stand still. So create a structure. And one of the easiest ways that I like to do this is to create a strategic plan for my business. And I even include my own life goals in there, because I know as an entrepreneur, you have to look at complete balance of your life, because you can't just segregate your business and only look at it without looking at the rest of your life. Because when you are an entrepreneur, especially if you're working with just yourself or maybe one other two people, you need to look at your whole life. Because a lot of times it's your mindset that will forbid you from going forward. So we have to look at all of it. So when I put together a strategic plan, and even when I'm working with my clients, I like to include fun things. I like to include rewards and celebrations. And it's not only when you just completed, it's the progress, recognizing the progress that you have made along the way, because that's what makes it fun. is that you recognize and you celebrate your progress. You're taking consistent action. So the first step is you've got to come up with your vision and your mission. And that vision and mission must be centered around your core values and what you truly, truly believe. And this is what, again, I work with my clients with. And it's often better to work with someone else. So even if we don't work together, try to work with somebody else, because otherwise we set in our cubbyhole that we have already established up here and we don't get out of it. And oftentimes we don't even see our best skills, our best expertise, and the best use of our time and our experience and knowledge. It's only others that help us get out of that cubbyhole, in that pigeonhole that we put ourselves into, that we actually see our true potential and what we can do in a year. And it's always good to make stretch goals too, because if we stay in our comfort zone, we don't develop and we don't go through that transformational process that can be so fulfilling. So when you set up goals, you need to have looked at, are your goals in line with your mission and vision and your core beliefs? And what are they? And then how are you going to actually implement action that will allow you to meet those goals within a year's time? It can be really fun if you allow it to be, and if you work with others. And this is why also I always encourage people to have an accountability circle. Surround yourself with either a coach or your friends or acquaintances or other people in your professional networks or any other type of network. When you establish yourself in an accountability circle and you really take it seriously, you'll be surprised at how much you can get done. Now, I actually had a client who told me once that she had been struggling with getting her business up and running, and she had a good idea, and she had been working on this path for 2 years. And she was actually still working full time, but she actually wanted to resign from her position so that she could fully concentrate on developing her business idea. She hired me as her coach. And after 4 months, we had put together this plan and we had started working so that she could be making strides and taking consistent action to meet her goals, so that at the end of the year, she would actually resign her position. I can tell you, though, that within 4 months, she came back to me and she said, I've already exceeded the amount of what I've gotten done in developing my business that I had achieved in the last 2 years of working on my own. That's the benefit of working with someone who has your best interests in mind, and that's what a coach can do. But if you don't have a coach, try to set up a system of people that will hold you accountable. Now, the problem of doing it with friends is they don't truly hold you accountable. They'll buy into your excuses. They'll buy into your stories. And at the end of the day, you won't be taking consistent action. And I can guarantee you that when you take consistent action, your plans will come to fruition and you will get your goal accomplished by the end of the year. Does that sound like something that you would be interested in working with me with? I only take a few people to work with on this because I really do want to get you into that place where you set up your goals into a really good plan that allows you to have fun. It allows you to take consistent action and allows us to celebrate your achievements along the way. Let me know if you'd like to have a conversation. There's no commitment. It's free. I love to talk to people about this because it is so important. I can tell you for myself personally, several years ago, I met a woman she was still in her 20s at that time. And she had set all of these goals, and she came in, and I was actually her mentor at the time, and she was telling me about all her goals, and I was so impressed that she actually had goals. But her problem too was that she didn't have the accountability, so that's what we worked on. And she's made goals and has been accountable ever since. So it's a really good practice. So let me know if you're interested in talking. I'd love to talk to you. Let's get together and have a chat about what you can do. Let's make 2020 your best year yet so that you have the vision for 2020. You have established the structures, you've established a plan, and you know how you're going to be consistently taking action to get it done, but in a fun and celebratory way. How's that sound to you? I hope to hear from you. So in the meantime, take care. Bye.